Master your emotions. Unlock the power within to transform your life. Written and published by Vox Reads. Introduction. Your emotions shape your reality, whether you realize it or not. They influence every decision you make, every relationship you build, and every success you achieve. Imagine what would happen if you could take control of your emotions, instead of letting them control you. In this book, you'll learn how to unlock the power within to transform your life. You'll discover how mastering your emotions can lead to greater happiness, stronger relationships, and a more fulfilling life. This isn't just about controlling your feelings, it's about understanding them. It's about gaining the awareness and tools you need to navigate the highs and lows of life with confidence and clarity. By the end of this book, you will have practical strategies to manage your emotions, build emotional resilience, and become the master of your own emotional world. So, let's begin this journey of emotional empowerment. Together we will explore the keys to unlocking your true potential. Chapter 1. The Power of Emotions. Emotions are one of the most powerful forces in our lives. They shape how we think, how we act, and how we connect with others. Yet many people live unaware of the immense power emotions hold over their experiences. They believe emotions are just fleeting feelings, something that comes and goes without much impact. But emotions are far more than that. They are the driving force behind our decisions, behaviors, and our perception of the world around us. In this chapter, we're going to explore the true power of emotions. We'll understand why they have such an influence on our lives, how they affect our daily choices, and how we can start to harness their power for positive change. Emotions shape our reality. Imagine you wake up feeling stressed about an important meeting. Your mind races through possible worst-case scenarios. You worry about not being prepared, or worse, failing in front of others. As the day goes on, that stress continues to cloud your thoughts, making it harder to focus on anything else. You might even snap at someone for no reason, all because that initial feeling of stress triggered a chain reaction in your mind and body. Now let's flip that scenario. Imagine waking up with a sense of calm and confidence. You're prepared, and you approach the day with clarity. Your thoughts are focused, and your interactions are positive. This shift in emotional state affects not just your day but your entire approach to life. This is the power of emotions at work. They shape how we see the world, how we react to situations, and how we move through life. The role of emotions in decision-making. Every decision we make is influenced by our emotions. From what to eat for lunch to how we respond to a challenge, emotions play a key role in guiding our choices. Often we don't even realize it. For instance, you might choose a certain product because it makes you feel good about yourself, or you might avoid an opportunity because it feels too risky or uncomfortable. Emotions are often more powerful than logic when it comes to decision-making. In fact, research has shown that people who rely solely on logic when making decisions are often less satisfied with the outcomes than those who integrate their emotions into the process. Think about the last time you made a decision that didn't feel right. Maybe you took a job offer that seemed perfect on paper, but you felt uneasy about it. Eventually, that unease might have led to dissatisfaction, showing just how important it is to pay attention to our emotional responses. When we ignore our emotions, we risk making choices that are out of alignment with our true desires. But when we tune into our feelings, we gain valuable insights that can lead us toward decisions that are more in sync with who we truly are. How emotions affect our behavior. Our emotions don't just affect what we think, they shape how we act. A person who is feeling angry may raise their voice, slam a door, or react impulsively. On the other hand, someone who is feeling calm and content might approach a challenging situation with patience and composure. Our emotional states influence the way we interact with others, how we handle stress, and even how we take care of ourselves. If we're feeling anxious, we might skip exercise or eat comfort food. If we're happy, we're more likely to engage in healthy habits and pursue positive activities. This is where emotional awareness comes in. By learning to recognize and understand our emotions, we can better manage our reactions. Instead of letting anger or fear control our actions, we can choose to respond in ways that serve our well-being and goals. Emotions and physical health. It's not just our behavior that emotions impact. They also have a profound effect on our physical health. When we experience strong emotions, whether positive or negative, our bodies react. Stress, for example, can raise blood pressure, weaken the immune system, and contribute to heart disease. Conversely, positive emotions like joy and gratitude have been shown to lower stress levels and improve overall health. Think about the last time you felt stressed or anxious. You might have noticed your muscles tightening, your heart racing, or even difficulty breathing. These are all physical signs of the emotional response happening inside you. On the flip side, when we experience positive emotions, our bodies release hormones like oxytocin and serotonin, which promote feelings of well-being and relaxation. Regularly experiencing positive emotions can actually improve your physical health, increase your energy, and enhance your quality of life. How emotions affect our relationships. Our emotional states also affect the way we interact with others. When we're in a good mood, we're more likely to be patient, kind, and understanding. But when we're upset or overwhelmed, we may snap at those around us or withdraw from social interactions altogether. Have you ever been in a situation where someone's emotional reaction completely changed the course of a conversation or interaction? Maybe a simple disagreement turned into a heated argument because one person's emotions got the best of them. Or perhaps a heartfelt conversation deepened a bond between you and a friend. Emotions play a huge role in how we build and maintain relationships. By becoming more emotionally aware, we can improve how we communicate, empathize, and connect with others. The importance of emotional awareness. So far, we've discussed how emotions influence our decisions, actions, health, and relationships. But how can we harness this power? The answer lies in emotional awareness. When we become aware of our emotions and how they impact us, we gain the ability to choose how we respond. Emotional awareness is the foundation of emotional mastery. It's the first step toward gaining control over our emotions rather than letting them control us. But awareness alone is not enough. We must also learn how to regulate our emotions, channeling them in ways that are productive and healthy. Emotional mastery is a skill you can develop. Just like any other skill, emotional mastery can be learned and developed. It's not something you're born with, it's something you can work on and improve over time. The key is practice. The more you practice becoming aware of your emotions and choosing how to respond, the better you'll get at it. In the following chapters, we'll dive deeper into how you can develop this skill. We'll explore techniques for managing negative emotions, building emotional resilience, and cultivating positive emotions. But for now, it's important to understand this one thing: emotions are powerful, but you are more powerful. With the right tools and awareness, you can master your emotions and transform your life. Chapter 2. Understanding your emotional blueprint. Every person has a unique emotional blueprint, a pattern of emotional responses shaped by their life experiences, upbringing, and environment. This blueprint influences how we react to situations, perceive the world, and interact with others. Just like a physical fingerprint, your emotional blueprint is yours alone, and understanding it is the first step to mastering your emotions. In this chapter, we will explore the concept of your emotional blueprint. We will dive into how it is formed, how it shapes your behavior, and how you can begin to reshape it for greater emotional mastery. What is your emotional blueprint? Your emotional blueprint is the collection of all your emotional habits, patterns, and triggers. It includes how you typically respond to stress, joy, sadness, anger, and every other feeling. These emotional responses are not random. They are shaped by your past experiences, the environment in which you grew up, and the messages you received about emotions throughout your life. For example, if you grew up in a household where expressing emotions was discouraged, you may have learned to suppress your feelings, leading to a more reserved emotional response as an adult. Alternatively, if you were encouraged to express your emotions freely, you might find it easier to openly communicate how you feel. Your emotional blueprint is constantly evolving. As you go through life, your experiences, both positive and negative, continue to shape how you respond to the world around you. While some aspects of your emotional blueprint are deeply ingrained, many can be reprogrammed with conscious effort and awareness. The formation of your emotional blueprint. To understand your emotional blueprint, it helps to take a step back and look at how it was formed. Early life experiences play a major role in shaping your emotional responses. From childhood, we learn how to react to the world based on the emotional environment we grew up in. For example, children who are raised in nurturing, emotionally open households tend to develop healthier emotional regulation skills. They learn that it is okay to express emotions and that doing so is a natural and important part of being human. On the other hand, children who experience emotional neglect or who are taught to suppress their emotions may struggle with emotional expression as adults. Your experiences as an adult also play a role in shaping your emotional blueprint. For instance, a difficult breakup might lead to feelings of rejection or sadness, which then become part of how you respond to future relationships. Similarly, a positive experience at work might build confidence, creating an emotional response that motivates you in your professional life. Understanding the formation of your emotional blueprint can be eye-opening. It helps you recognize the patterns that have developed over time and how these patterns influence your reactions. This awareness is the first step in taking control of your emotional responses. Identifying emotional triggers. An essential part of understanding your emotional blueprint is identifying your emotional triggers. These are the situations, people, or thoughts that cause an intense emotional reaction. Emotional triggers can be positive or negative, but they often stem from past experiences. For instance, if you've experienced betrayal in a past relationship, the sight or mention of betrayal in a new relationship might trigger feelings of hurt or mistrust, even if the current situation doesn't warrant such a strong emotional response. Similarly, if you've struggled with feelings of inadequacy in the past, a critical comment at work could trigger self-doubt, even if the feedback is constructive. The key to understanding your emotional blueprint is recognizing these triggers. Once you identify them, you can begin to unravel why they affect you the way they do. With practice, you can start to reframe your emotional responses to these triggers and choose more empowering reactions. The role of beliefs in shaping your emotional blueprint. Underlying many of our emotional responses are beliefs about ourselves, others, and the world around us. These beliefs are formed from our past experiences and influence how we interpret events and situations. For example, if you have a belief that you are unworthy of success, you may feel anxious or fearful when faced with an opportunity to advance in your career. This belief can create a cycle of self-sabotage, where your emotions, fear, anxiety drive you to avoid taking action, thus reinforcing the belief that you are unworthy. Our beliefs are powerful because they affect how we perceive the world. If we believe the world is a hostile place, we might approach challenges with a sense of fear and defensiveness. If we believe people are generally trustworthy, we may respond to others with openness and vulnerability. Changing your emotional blueprint often requires changing the underlying beliefs that drive your emotional responses. This is why emotional mastery is not just about managing feelings, it's about understanding and reshaping the beliefs that give rise to those feelings. How to begin reshaping your emotional blueprint. Now that you understand the basic elements of your emotional blueprint, how can you begin reshaping it? The process of transformation begins with awareness. By identifying your emotional triggers, understanding your emotional responses, and recognizing the beliefs that underpin them, you can start to create new patterns of behavior. Here are some steps you can take to begin reshaping your emotional blueprint. Practice self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your emotions and reactions. When you experience a strong emotion, ask yourself, what triggered this feeling? What past experience might be influencing my reaction? Journaling can be a helpful tool for this self-reflection. Write down your emotional responses to different situations and explore where they come from. 2. Challenge your beliefs. Examine the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you. Ask yourself whether these beliefs are serving you or holding you back. If a belief is limiting or negative, actively work on changing it. For example, if you believe you are not good enough, replace that thought with "I am capable and worthy of success." 3. Reframe your emotional responses. When you encounter a trigger, practice reframing your emotional response instead of reacting impulsively. Take a step back and consciously choose a more constructive reaction. For example, if you feel anger rising in response to a comment, pause and remind yourself that you have the power to respond calmly and rationally. 4. Build new habits. The more you practice new emotional responses, the more they will become ingrained in your emotional blueprint. Like any skill, emotional regulation improves with consistent practice. Over time, your emotional responses will shift from automatic reactions to intentional responses. Conclusion: your emotional blueprint is the foundation of how you experience the world. Understanding its formation and the role it plays in shaping your behavior is the first step toward emotional mastery. By identifying your emotional triggers and the beliefs that drive your responses, you can begin to reshape your emotional blueprint for greater control and empowerment. As you continue this journey, remember that change is a gradual process. With awareness and practice, you can rewrite your emotional story and build a future where you have the power to respond to any situation with clarity, confidence, and control. Chapter 3: Emotional Triggers and How to Recognize Them. Emotional triggers are powerful. They can cause an immediate reaction, often without you even realizing why. One moment, you might be calm and collected, and the next, you're flooded with anger, anxiety, or sadness. Understanding and recognizing your emotional triggers is one of the most important steps in emotional mastery. When you are aware of what sets you off, you can respond more consciously instead of reacting impulsively. In this chapter, we will explore what emotional triggers are, how they are formed, and how to recognize them in your own life. By the end of this chapter, you will have tools to start managing your emotional triggers and using them as opportunities for growth. What are emotional triggers? Emotional triggers are specific events, situations, or stimuli that cause a strong emotional reaction. These reactions are often automatic, meaning they happen quickly and sometimes without much thought. For example, a person might get upset when they hear a certain word or see something that reminds them of a past hurt. A simple comment from a coworker could trigger feelings of insecurity, or an unexpected setback might bring up anxiety. The key to understanding emotional triggers is recognizing that they are often linked to past experiences. A trigger is not just an isolated event. It's connected to a memory, belief, or unresolved emotion that surfaces when something in the present moment reminds you of that past experience. For example, imagine you have a friend who frequently cancels plans at the last minute. Over time, this behavior might trigger feelings of abandonment or hurt from past relationships where people let you down. Even though your friend may not intend to hurt you, your emotional reaction is influenced by past experiences. How are emotional triggers formed? Emotional triggers are formed through life experiences. Most of the time, they stem from unresolved issues or unmet needs from the past. These experiences create emotional responses that become ingrained over time, making them more automatic. For example, if you grew up in an environment where conflict was avoided at all costs, you might have learned to suppress your emotions when faced with disagreement. Later in life, when confronted with a disagreement, you might feel overwhelmed, anxious, or even shut down, even if the situation doesn't warrant such a strong reaction. Emotional triggers can also develop when you experience a traumatic event such as loss or betrayal. These events create strong emotional imprints, which can be triggered later by situations that even remotely resemble that experience. For instance, if you've been hurt by someone's betrayal, any sign of dishonesty or secrecy in a future relationship might trigger feelings of mistrust or pain. The impact of emotional triggers. While emotional triggers can sometimes be positive, like feeling joy when hearing a favorite song or seeing someone you love, more often than not, they evoke negative emotions. The impact of a trigger can vary, but in many cases, it leads to an exaggerated or disproportionate emotional response. Imagine you're in a conversation with a colleague and they make a comment that seems harmless, but instead of brushing it off, you feel defensive, angry, or upset. Your emotional response is likely much stronger than the situation warrants, and the reason is that the comment reminded you of a deeper unresolved issue. Perhaps the comment triggered a feeling of being judged or criticized, echoing an experience from your past that you've never fully processed. These disproportionate responses often lead to regret or confusion. You might ask yourself, why did I react that way? The answer often lies in the emotional triggers you haven't yet recognized or addressed. How to recognize your emotional triggers. Recognizing your emotional triggers is the first step toward gaining control over them. Here are some ways to identify your triggers. Observe your emotional responses. Start paying attention to when you feel strong emotional reactions, especially when they seem out of proportion to the situation. Ask yourself, what was it about this situation that caused such a strong response? The answer may point to an unresolved issue or memory from the past. Track repeated patterns. Emotional triggers often repeat themselves. If you notice a pattern where certain events or situations consistently cause strong emotional reactions, that's a clear sign of a trigger. For instance, do you always feel upset when someone cuts you off in traffic? This might be a sign of deeper frustration or a past incident related to feeling ignored or disregarded. Reflect on past experiences. Think about your past, your childhood, your family dynamics, your relationships, and past experiences of trauma or stress. Which experiences stand out the most? What emotions did they bring up? Often these experiences shape the emotional triggers you experience today. Pay attention to your body. Emotional triggers don't just affect your thoughts, they also affect your body. You might feel tense, your heart rate might increase, or you might experience a knot in your stomach. These physical cues are a clear signal that your emotions have been triggered. Once you notice these signs, take a moment to reflect on what caused them. Ask for feedback. Sometimes, it can be hard to see our own triggers clearly. In these cases, asking a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can be helpful. They might point out patterns in your reactions that you've missed. Managing your emotional triggers. Once you've identified your emotional triggers, it's time to start managing them. Awareness is the first step, but the real work comes in how you choose to respond when you feel triggered. Pause and breathe. The first thing to do when you feel yourself being triggered is to pause. Take a deep breath and give yourself a moment before reacting. This simple action can create the space you need to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Acknowledge the emotion. Instead of ignoring or suppressing the emotion, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I'm feeling angry right now, and that's okay. By recognizing the emotion, you prevent it from controlling you. Understand the source. Once you've acknowledged the emotion, ask yourself where it's coming from. Is it related to the present situation, or is it a reaction to something from your past? Understanding the source of your emotion can help you see the situation more clearly and prevent unnecessary reactions. To reframe the situation. Once you've identified the trigger and understood the source, reframe the situation. Instead of viewing it through the lens of past pain, look at it as a new opportunity for growth. For example, if a situation triggers feelings of inadequacy, remind yourself of your strengths and past achievements. Use mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness can help you become more aware of your emotional triggers and develop a more balanced response. Regular mindfulness exercises, like meditation, can help you build emotional resilience and create space between a trigger and your reaction. Seek support if needed. If a trigger is deeply rooted in past trauma or emotional wounds, seeking support from a therapist or counselor can be a powerful step. Professional help can provide you with tools and techniques to heal and reprogram your emotional responses. Conclusion: emotional triggers are not something to fear. They are an opportunity for self-awareness and growth. By recognizing your triggers, understanding their origins, and learning how to manage them, you take control of your emotional life. As you gain mastery over your triggers, you'll find that you are more in control of your emotional responses, more grounded in difficult situations, and more capable of creating the life you want. In the next chapter, we will explore how to reframe your thoughts and shift your emotional state to create more positive outcomes in your life. The journey to emotional mastery is just beginning. Chapter 4. Reframing your thoughts to control emotions. One of the most powerful ways to master your emotions is to change the way you think. Our thoughts have an incredible influence on how we feel. When we change the way we think about a situation, we can change our emotional response. This process is called reframing. In this chapter, we will explore what reframing is, how it works, and how you can use it to control your emotions. You'll learn practical techniques for shifting your perspective and turning negative emotions into opportunities for growth. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand how to take control of your emotional responses, no matter the situation. What is reframing? Reframing is the process of changing your perspective on a situation in order to see it in a more positive or balanced light. It's about shifting your thoughts to focus on new possibilities, solutions, or strengths, rather than focusing on what's going wrong or what you fear. Reframing doesn't mean denying or ignoring negative emotions. It means acknowledging them, but choosing to view the situation from a different angle. It's like looking at a problem from multiple perspectives until you find a way to see it as less threatening or more manageable. For example, imagine you are feeling nervous before an important presentation. Instead of thinking, "I'm going to fail," try reframing your thought to, "I am prepared, and this is an opportunity to grow and share my ideas." This shift in thinking immediately changes the emotional landscape, turning anxiety into excitement and focus. Why reframing works? Reframing works because our thoughts directly influence our emotions. When we think negatively, we tend to feel negative emotions like fear, anger, or frustration. On the other hand, when we focus on positive, neutral, or solution-oriented thoughts, our emotions follow suit. Think of your thoughts as the filter through which you experience the world. If your filter is clouded with negativity, you'll see the world through a lens of frustration, doubt, or helplessness. However, when you adjust that filter by reframing, you begin to see the same situations in a new light, one that's more hopeful, balanced, and empowering. Take the example of a person who gets caught in traffic on the way to an important meeting. If their initial thought is, "This is ruining my day," they may feel angry or stressed, which only makes the situation worse. But if they reframe their thought to, "I can use this time to relax or listen to something that inspires me," they can change their emotional response and turn the situation into a positive one. How to reframe your thoughts. Reframing may sound simple, but it's a skill that requires practice. Here are a few techniques you can use to start reframing your thoughts and gaining more control over your emotions. Identify the negative thought. The first step is to identify the negative or unhelpful thought that's triggering your emotional response. It could be a thought like, "I'm not good enough," or "This situation will never improve." Once you've identified the thought, pause and recognize the emotion it's causing, whether it's anxiety, frustration, or sadness. 2. Challenge the negative thought. After identifying the negative thought, ask yourself, is this thought really true? Is it based on facts or assumptions? Often our minds create stories that aren't entirely accurate. For example, if you're nervous about an upcoming job interview, you might think, "I'm not qualified for this job," but this thought isn't necessarily true. Instead of accepting it, challenge it by asking yourself, what evidence do I have that contradicts this thought? Maybe you have the necessary experience, skills, and knowledge for the job. Challenging your thought allows you to break free from negative patterns. 3. Reframe the thought. Once you've questioned the negative thought, it's time to reframe it. Reframing involves turning the thought into something more balanced, realistic, or empowering. In the example of the job interview, instead of thinking, "I'm not qualified," try reframing it to, "I have the skills and experience for this role, and I'm excited to bring my strengths to this opportunity." This new thought shifts your focus from fear and doubt to confidence and excitement. 4. Practice self-compassion. Sometimes, reframing involves being kind to yourself. If you find yourself getting frustrated with your progress, practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that growth takes time and that you're doing your best. Self-compassion helps you move from a place of judgment to one of understanding and patience, which can have a positive effect on your emotions. 5. Focus on the positive. In every situation, there is always something positive you can focus on. Even if a situation is challenging, look for the lesson or opportunity for growth. Instead of thinking, "This is a disaster," try thinking, "This is difficult, but I can learn something valuable from this experience." Reframing helps you find the silver lining, which can immediately improve your emotional state. The power of reframing in action. Let's look at a real-world example of reframing in action. Consider a person who's been working hard on a project at work, only to have it criticized by their manager. Their first emotional reaction might be frustration or disappointment. They could easily get upset and feel defeated, thinking, "I worked so hard on this and it's not good enough." However, by reframing the situation, they can choose to see the criticism as constructive feedback. Instead of feeling discouraged, they might think, "This feedback will help me improve my skills, and next time I'll do even better." This shift in thinking transforms frustration into motivation, and the emotional energy shifts from a negative spiral to an empowering outlook. Reframing is a skill that can be developed over time. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to shift your thoughts and in turn your emotions. Reframing your emotional reactions in relationships. Reframing isn't just useful in personal challenges, it's also essential in relationships. Many conflicts arise from miscommunications or different emotional responses to the same situation. When you're able to reframe your thoughts during a disagreement, you can approach the situation with more empathy and understanding. For example, imagine you're having an argument with a partner. They say something that triggers feelings of anger or hurt in you. Instead of immediately reacting with defensiveness or frustration, you can pause and reframe your thought. "This isn't about me as a person, it's about the situation we're both facing." This shift helps you move from emotional reactivity to a more thoughtful and calm response, which can lead to a more productive conversation. Conclusion. Reframing your thoughts is one of the most powerful tools you have for managing your emotions. When you change the way you think about a situation, you change the way you feel. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, you can retrain your mind to focus on solutions, growth, and empowerment, rather than fear, frustration, and doubt. By learning how to reframe your thoughts, you will begin to take control of your emotional responses, leading to more peace, resilience, and emotional freedom. In the next chapter, we will dive deeper into how developing emotional intelligence can enhance your ability to reframe your thoughts and respond to your emotions with greater awareness. Chapter 5. Developing Emotional Intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It is a key component in mastering emotions and living a fulfilling, balanced life. In this chapter, we will explore what emotional intelligence is, why it matters, and how you can develop and strengthen your EQ to improve your emotional well-being and relationships. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive emotions, to use emotions to facilitate thought, to understand emotions, and to regulate emotions to promote personal growth and social well-being. It involves several skills that are crucial for navigating life's emotional challenges with clarity, resilience, and empathy. In simple terms, emotional intelligence helps you recognize and manage your emotions in healthy ways while understanding and responding to the emotions of others. People with high EQ are often more adaptable, better at conflict resolution, and better at building and maintaining relationships. Emotional intelligence is broken down into 5 key components: self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions; self-regulation, the ability to manage or redirect disruptive emotions and impulses; motivation, the drive to achieve goals for personal reasons rather than for external rewards; empathy, the ability to understand the emotions of others and respond to them appropriately; social skills, the ability to manage relationships and build networks. Why emotional intelligence matters. Importance of emotional intelligence cannot be overstated. In both personal and professional contexts, high emotional intelligence helps individuals respond to situations in a calm, thoughtful way, rather than reacting impulsively. It fosters better communication, stronger relationships, and a deeper understanding of oneself and others. Research has shown that emotional intelligence is often a greater predictor of success than traditional intelligence (IQ). People with high EQ are more likely to excel in leadership roles, manage stress effectively, and develop strong supportive networks of relationships. EQ also plays a key role in mental health and well-being. People with high emotional intelligence are less likely to experience prolonged periods of anxiety, depression, or anger. The benefits of developing emotional intelligence. The benefits of improving your emotional intelligence extend beyond just better emotional management. Here are some of the key advantages. Improved relationships. People with high EQ are skilled at understanding and empathizing with others, which helps them form deep, meaningful connections. They can read social cues, communicate more effectively, and respond with compassion. Better conflict resolution. High EQ enables individuals to manage disagreements and conflicts in a calm, productive way. Instead of escalating a situation, they know how to listen, stay neutral, and work toward a solution. Increased self-awareness. Developing emotional intelligence helps you become more aware of your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. This awareness allows you to make more intentional choices and avoid reacting out of habit or impulse. Enhanced well-being. EQ helps you manage stress, cope with challenges, and maintain emotional balance. People with high emotional intelligence are better equipped to bounce back from setbacks, leading to greater resilience and overall well-being. Career success. In the workplace, emotional intelligence is crucial for collaboration, leadership, and effective decision-making. People with high EQ are often better at managing teams, negotiating, and navigating the social dynamics of the workplace. How to develop your emotional intelligence. While some aspects of emotional intelligence come more naturally to certain individuals, it is a skill that can be developed and refined with practice. Here are some strategies to help you enhance your emotional intelligence. Cultivate self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It involves recognizing and understanding your emotions as they occur and knowing how they influence your thoughts and behaviors. To cultivate self-awareness, try keeping a daily journal where you reflect on your emotions. Write down how you felt throughout the day and what triggered those feelings. Over time, this practice will help you become more attuned to your emotional state, allowing you to respond to situations more mindfully. Another useful technique is mindfulness meditation. Taking a few minutes each day to focus on your breath and observe your thoughts without judgment can help you become more aware of your emotions in the present moment. 2. Practice self-regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions, particularly in difficult situations. It involves pausing before reacting, choosing to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. To improve self-regulation, start by becoming more conscious of your emotional reactions. When you feel a strong emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, or anxiety, take a moment to breathe deeply and assess the situation before responding. Ask yourself, what is the best way to handle this? Additionally, developing coping strategies like deep breathing, visualization, or progressive muscle relaxation can help you stay calm and centered during stressful moments. 3. Develop empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's one of the most important aspects of emotional intelligence, as it fosters deeper connections and more effective communication. To develop empathy, focus on truly listening to others. Instead of planning your response while they are speaking, give them your full attention and try to understand their point of view. Pay attention to nonverbal cues like body language and tone of voice, as these can provide valuable insight into someone's emotional state. You can also practice putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Imagine how they might be feeling and consider what they might need from you in that moment. 4. Improve social skills. Social skills involve the ability to manage relationships effectively and communicate clearly. Developing strong social skills is essential for building networks, resolving conflicts, and collaborating with others. To enhance your social skills, work on becoming a more active listener. Practice open-ended questions that encourage others to share more about their thoughts and feelings. When engaging in conversation, focus on being present and showing genuine interest in the other person's perspective. Another key aspect of social skills is learning how to give and receive feedback. Constructive feedback is essential for growth, and being open to it allows you to improve both personally and professionally. 5. Strengthen motivation. Motivation is the drive to achieve goals, even in the face of setbacks. People with high emotional intelligence are often self-motivated, driven by personal values and goals rather than external rewards. To build motivation, focus on what truly matters to you. Connect your actions to your core values and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Setting small, achievable goals along the way can also keep you motivated and help you stay on track. Conclusion: developing emotional intelligence is a lifelong journey, but it is one that will pay off in every area of your life. As you improve your self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, social skills, and motivation, you will find that your emotional experiences become more balanced and manageable. You'll begin to respond to challenges with greater calm, make decisions more effectively, and build stronger relationships with the people around you. The more you practice these skills, the more natural they will become. Emotional intelligence is not just about managing your own emotions. It's about understanding the emotional dynamics of the world around you. By mastering these skills, you'll unlock your full potential and lead a more fulfilling, emotionally intelligent life. Chapter 6. Building resilience to handle emotional challenges. Life is unpredictable. No matter how well we manage our emotions, there will always be situations that test our strength, patience, and emotional endurance. Whether it's facing a personal loss, dealing with workplace stress, or navigating challenging relationships, emotional challenges are a part of the human experience. The key to thriving in the face of adversity is resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep moving forward. In this chapter, we will explore the concept of resilience, why it's crucial for emotional mastery, and how you can build and strengthen your resilience to better handle the emotional challenges that life throws your way. What is resilience? Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties or setbacks. It's not about avoiding hardship or pretending that challenges don't exist. Instead, resilience is about how we respond to and grow through those challenges. People who are resilient don't dwell on the negative. Instead, they find ways to adapt, learn from adversity, and continue forward with strength and optimism. Think of resilience like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Some people seem to naturally bounce back from difficult situations, but resilience is not a fixed trait. It can be developed, practiced, and strengthened over time. Why resilience is crucial for emotional mastery. Resilience is a cornerstone of emotional mastery. Without resilience, it's easy to become overwhelmed by negative emotions. When we face setbacks or disappointments, it's natural to feel hurt, sad, or angry. But if we lack resilience, we may get stuck in those emotions, allowing them to define us and dictate our actions. Resilience allows us to process difficult emotions in a healthy way, instead of letting them control us. It gives us the strength to keep going even when things aren't going our way. It helps us move from a place of victimhood to a place of empowerment. With resilience, we are better equipped to handle life's challenges without losing ourselves in the process. Key traits of resilient people. Resilient people share several key traits that enable them to handle emotional challenges with grace. These traits include optimism. Resilient individuals maintain a positive outlook even in difficult times. They believe that setbacks are temporary and that they have the ability to overcome them. This optimistic mindset helps them stay motivated and focused on solutions. Self-awareness. Resilient people are in tune with their emotions. They recognize when they're feeling stressed, sad, or frustrated, and they take the time to process these emotions in a healthy way. Self-awareness allows them to manage their emotional responses instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional regulation. The ability to manage intense emotions is another hallmark of resilience. Resilient individuals don't let their emotions take over. Instead, they practice techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, or cognitive reframing to keep their emotions in check. Perseverance. Resilient people don't give up easily. When faced with obstacles, they keep moving forward, even if it means taking small steps. They understand that progress is often slow, but that persistence leads to success. Social support. Building and maintaining strong relationships is essential for resilience. Resilient individuals know when to ask for help, lean on others for support, and share their feelings with trusted friends or family members. How to build resilience. While some people may naturally seem more resilient, resilience is a skill that can be developed by anyone. Here are several practical strategies you can use to build and strengthen your resilience. 1. Shift your mindset. Your mindset plays a significant role in your ability to bounce back from adversity. People with a growth mindset believe that challenges are opportunities for growth, not insurmountable obstacles. They view failures as temporary setbacks and are open to learning from them. To build resilience, start shifting your mindset toward growth. When faced with a challenge, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This simple shift in perspective can help you stay focused on solutions and keep moving forward, even when things get tough. 2. Practice self-compassion. Resilience isn't about being tough all the time. It's about being kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same understanding, patience, and kindness that you would offer to a close friend. When you face failure or disappointment, instead of criticizing yourself, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that it's okay to feel upset, but also remind yourself that you are capable of learning from the experience and growing stronger. 3. Build healthy coping strategies. Everyone faces stress, but how we cope with it determines whether we grow stronger or become overwhelmed. Developing healthy coping strategies is key to building resilience. These strategies might include exercise, meditation, journaling, or talking to a trusted friend. Experiment with different coping techniques to find what works best for you. When you're faced with a difficult situation, use these tools to calm your mind, gain perspective, and manage your emotions effectively. 4. Foster strong connections. Resilience is not something you need to build alone. Having a strong support system is one of the most important factors in developing resilience. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, encourage you, and remind you of your strengths. Don't be afraid to reach out for help when you need it. Resilient individuals understand the value of leaning on others and sharing their struggles. It's through our connections with others that we find strength and healing. 5. Take care of your physical health. Your physical health has a direct impact on your emotional resilience. Regular exercise, healthy eating, and getting enough sleep are essential for maintaining emotional balance and mental clarity. When you take care of your body, you are better equipped to handle emotional stress. Physical activity, in particular, releases endorphins, natural mood boosters that help you stay positive and energized, even during difficult times. Resilience in action, real-life examples. To see how resilience works in action, let's look at a few real-life examples. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced multiple rejections from publishers before her first book was accepted. Instead of giving up, she used each rejection as an opportunity to improve and continue pursuing her dream. Her resilience led to one of the most successful book series of all time. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, enduring hardship, separation from family, and a harsh political system. Yet despite the personal suffering, he emerged from prison with a commitment to peace, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Mandela's resilience transformed him into one of the most revered leaders in history. These examples show that resilience doesn't mean avoiding difficulty. It means facing adversity head-on, learning from it, and emerging stronger than before. Conclusion. Building resilience is a lifelong journey, but it is one that will pay off in countless ways. By cultivating a resilient mindset, practicing self-compassion, and using healthy coping strategies, you can navigate life's emotional challenges with strength, optimism, and grace. Resilience allows you to weather the storms of life, knowing that no matter how difficult things may get, you have the inner strength to bounce back and keep moving forward. Chapter 7. The Role of Self-Awareness in Emotional Mastery. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools in emotional mastery. It's the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, and how they impact the world around you. When you become self-aware, you can start to manage your emotions more effectively, make better decisions, and create healthier relationships. In this chapter, we'll explore why self-awareness is crucial for emotional mastery, how it enhances your emotional intelligence, and practical steps you can take to develop and strengthen this vital skill. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to introspect and be mindful of your inner emotional landscape. It involves noticing your emotions in the moment, understanding the root causes of those emotions, and recognizing how they influence your thoughts, actions, and reactions. For example, let's say you feel frustrated in a meeting. If you're self-aware, you can identify that frustration and explore why you're feeling that way. Are you frustrated because you feel unheard? Or perhaps you're frustrated because the situation feels out of your control. By recognizing the emotion and the underlying cause, you can choose how to respond rather than letting frustration dictate your actions. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. Without it, you may be unaware of the emotions driving your behavior, and as a result, you may react impulsively or get stuck in negative emotional patterns. Why self-awareness matters in emotional mastery. Self-awareness gives you the ability to pause before reacting, which is critical for emotional regulation. When you are aware of your emotions, you can make more informed choices about how to respond to a situation. You can take a step back, reflect on your emotional state, and decide whether your reaction aligns with your long-term goals and values. Think about a situation where someone cuts you off in traffic. Without self-awareness, your immediate response might be anger or frustration, leading you to honk your horn, speed up, or even shout. However, if you are self-aware, you might recognize the surge of anger, pause, and decide to let it go. You can choose to stay calm and avoid letting the situation escalate, an emotionally mature response. In addition to helping you regulate your emotions, self-awareness also helps you understand your emotional triggers and patterns. Over time, you begin to recognize the situations, people, or thoughts that tend to set off certain emotional responses. For example, you might notice that when someone criticizes your work, you feel defensive or discouraged. This awareness allows you to prepare for those moments and choose a more constructive response. How self-awareness enhances emotional intelligence. Self-awareness is the first pillar of emotional intelligence. It provides the clarity you need to understand the other aspects of emotional intelligence, such as self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Self-regulation. When you're self-aware, you can regulate your emotions more effectively. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger, sadness, or frustration, you can pause, reflect, and choose how to respond. Self-awareness acts as a filter, allowing you to assess whether your emotions are proportionate to the situation before taking action. Empathy. Self-awareness also enhances empathy, the ability to understand and relate to the emotions of others. When you are in tune with your own emotions, you can more easily identify and resonate with the emotions of those around you. This makes it easier to connect with others and respond with care and understanding. Motivation. Being self-aware helps you stay focused on your personal goals and values. You can recognize when emotions like fear or doubt are holding you back and take conscious steps to move past them. This emotional clarity keeps you motivated and aligned with your purpose. Social skills. Self-awareness enables you to improve your interactions with others. When you understand how your emotions influence your behavior, you can communicate more effectively, manage conflict better, and build stronger relationships. Developing self-awareness. Practical steps. Self-awareness is not something that happens overnight. It requires consistent practice and a willingness to examine your thoughts and emotions. Here are some practical steps you can take to enhance your self-awareness and start applying it to your emotional mastery. 1. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By engaging in mindfulness exercises, such as deep breathing, meditation, or simply focusing on your surroundings, you can increase your awareness of your emotional state. The more you practice mindfulness, the better you become at noticing your emotions as they arise. For instance, you can start your day with a few minutes of meditation to center yourself. As you go through your day, take brief moments to check in with how you're feeling, whether it's at work, during conversations, or in stressful situations. This will help you stay connected to your emotions, making it easier to manage them. 2. Keep an emotional journal. Journaling is a powerful tool for building self-awareness. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on your emotions. Ask yourself questions like, what emotions did I experience today? What triggered those emotions? How did I respond? What could I have done differently? By writing down your thoughts and feelings, you create a space for reflection and insight. Over time, you may notice patterns in your emotional responses, which can help you identify areas for growth and improvement. 3. Ask for feedback. Sometimes, we're not fully aware of how our emotions affect others. Asking for feedback from trusted friends, family members, or colleagues can help you gain a clearer picture of how your emotional state impacts your interactions. They may offer valuable insights into how you express emotions, how you handle stress, or how you come across in social situations. Be open to constructive feedback and use it as an opportunity to deepen your self-awareness. It can be uncomfortable at times, but it's an important step toward emotional growth. 4. Observe your emotional patterns. Take note of recurring emotional patterns in your life. Are there certain situations that consistently trigger strong emotional reactions? Are there particular people, places, or events that tend to bring out certain feelings? By observing these patterns, you can start to connect the dots between your emotional responses and the underlying causes. For example, if you tend to feel anxious before meetings, you might realize that the anxiety stems from a fear of judgment or failure. Recognizing this allows you to address the root cause of your anxiety and work toward overcoming it. The benefits of self-awareness in emotional mastery. Self-awareness is the foundation for all other aspects of emotional mastery. When you understand your emotions, you can manage them more effectively, make better decisions, and respond to situations in a way that aligns with your values and goals. With greater self-awareness, you are also better equipped to empathize with others, build stronger relationships, and improve your social interactions. In essence, self-awareness is the first step toward emotional freedom. It gives you the power to choose your responses, rather than being controlled by your emotions. As you develop this skill, you'll find yourself navigating life's emotional ups and downs with more grace, clarity, and confidence. Chapter 8. Cultivating positive emotions for a better life. Our emotions are incredibly powerful, but not all emotions are created equal. Some emotions, like joy, gratitude, and love, can elevate our lives, increase our resilience, and foster meaningful connections. Positive emotions have the ability to improve our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. They help us cope with stress, enhance our relationships, and create a more fulfilling life. In this chapter, we will explore how to cultivate positive emotions and harness their transformative power. We will discuss practical strategies for developing positive emotions, the benefits of doing so, and how you can incorporate these practices into your daily life. The power of positive emotions. Positive emotions such as happiness, contentment, and love are more than just fleeting moments of pleasure. They have the power to shape our experiences and influence our overall well-being. When we experience positive emotions, our brain releases chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, often referred to as feel-good hormones. These chemicals enhance our mood, reduce stress, and improve our ability to handle life's challenges. Research has shown that people who regularly experience positive emotions tend to have stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, and greater life satisfaction. Positive emotions are linked to better mental health, improved cognitive function, and even increased longevity. When we nurture positivity in our lives, we are investing in our own well-being. But positive emotions are not just a result of external circumstances, they are also within our control. While we cannot always change the world around us, we can choose how we respond to it. By cultivating positive emotions intentionally, we can improve our emotional resilience and create a life that is filled with greater joy, connection, and peace. How to cultivate positive emotions. Cultivating positive emotions takes practice, just like building any other skill. It requires intentional effort and a willingness to change your mindset. Here are some strategies to help you foster positivity in your life. 1. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to cultivate positive emotions. When you take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, you train your brain to focus on the good in your life, rather than dwelling on what is lacking or going wrong. Gratitude has been shown to increase feelings of happiness, reduce stress, and improve relationships. You can practice gratitude in many ways. Keep a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you are grateful for each day. You can also take a moment in the morning or before bed to mentally list your blessings. For example, you might be grateful for a supportive friend, a good meal, or a peaceful moment of reflection. The more you focus on the positive, the more natural it becomes to feel gratitude, and over time, this practice can shift your overall mindset. 2. Engage in acts of kindness. Kindness is a powerful way to boost both your own and others' positive emotions. When you engage in acts of kindness, whether big or small, you experience an emotional boost from the act itself, and you also create a ripple effect of positivity in the lives of others. Studies show that kindness activates areas of the brain associated with happiness and reward. Whether you're helping a stranger, sending a thoughtful message to a friend, or volunteering for a cause you care about, acts of kindness contribute to your sense of purpose and connection. Even simple acts, like holding the door open for someone or offering a sincere compliment, can create a moment of positivity. The more you make kindness a habit, the more natural it becomes to foster positive emotions. 3. Surround yourself with positive people. The people we interact with have a significant impact on our emotional state. When you surround yourself with positive, supportive, and uplifting individuals, their energy can rub off on you. Positive people tend to inspire, encourage, and motivate us, helping us stay focused on the good aspects of life. On the other hand, negative or toxic relationships can drain our energy and bring us down. Pay attention to how the people around you make you feel. Seek out relationships that uplift and energize you, and distance yourself from those that cause unnecessary stress or negativity. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life entirely, but rather creating boundaries and making more room for those who encourage your growth and well-being. 4. Focus on the present moment. Much of our emotional state is influenced by where we focus our attention. If we are constantly dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, we can miss the beauty and joy that is available to us in the present moment. Practicing mindfulness is one of the most effective ways to stay grounded in the now and foster positive emotions. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment, with acceptance and without judgment. It's about fully experiencing what's happening right now, whether you're enjoying a conversation, savoring a meal, or simply taking a walk. You don't need to meditate for hours to practice mindfulness. You can integrate small moments of mindfulness into your daily routine by focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or paying attention to your surroundings with curiosity and appreciation. 5. Engage in activities that bring you joy. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment is another way to cultivate positive emotions. Whether it's a creative hobby, physical exercise, or spending time with loved ones, make sure to prioritize activities that make you feel good. When you engage in activities that align with your passions or interests, you experience a sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, and happiness. These moments of joy act as emotional buffers during difficult times, making it easier to maintain a positive outlook even when faced with challenges. The benefits of cultivating positive emotions. Cultivating positive emotions is not about ignoring the difficulties of life or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about choosing to focus on the good, even in the midst of challenges. By consciously nurturing positive emotions, you can build a more resilient mindset and create a life that feels more fulfilling. Some of the key benefits of cultivating positive emotions include improved mental health. Positive emotions are linked to reduced levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. They can help counterbalance negative emotional states and promote overall mental well-being. Stronger relationships. When you radiate positivity, you attract others who are also positive and supportive. This leads to stronger, more meaningful connections. Better physical health. Studies have shown that positive emotions can boost your immune system, lower blood pressure, and improve overall physical health. Greater life satisfaction. Focusing on the positive helps you appreciate the present moment and find joy in everyday experiences, leading to higher levels of life satisfaction and contentment. Conclusion. Cultivating positive emotions is a powerful way to improve your emotional well-being and lead a more fulfilling life. By practicing gratitude, kindness, and mindfulness, surrounding yourself with positive people, and engaging in activities that bring you joy, you can create a mindset that naturally embraces the good in life. When you prioritize positivity, you not only enhance your own life, but you also inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of happiness and well-being that extends far beyond yourself. Chapter 9. Emotional Mastery in Relationships. Our relationships, whether romantic, familial, or professional, are integral to our emotional well-being. The quality of our relationships can either lift us up or drain us emotionally. While many factors contribute to the success of a relationship, emotional mastery plays a pivotal role in determining how we interact with others and how we navigate the inevitable ups and downs that come with human connection. In this chapter, we will explore how emotional mastery can transform the way we approach relationships. We'll look at how emotional awareness, regulation, empathy, and communication skills are essential for building and maintaining healthy, fulfilling relationships. By the end of this chapter, you'll have practical tools to enhance your emotional intelligence within your relationships, fostering deeper connections, better communication, and a greater sense of mutual understanding. The role of emotional mastery in relationships. Emotional mastery in relationships means being able to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of others. It's about maintaining a balance between expressing your feelings and being considerate of the emotions of those around you. When we master our emotions in relationships, we respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Communicate clearly and effectively, avoiding misunderstandings and conflicts. Handle disagreements with respect and compassion. Foster deeper connections by being vulnerable, authentic, and emotionally available. Emotional mastery allows us to create an environment of trust, respect, and understanding. It empowers us to express our needs, concerns, and desires without fear of judgment, and to listen with empathy when others do the same. Emotional awareness, the first step to mastery in relationships. The foundation of emotional mastery in relationships is emotional awareness. Emotional awareness means being able to identify and understand the emotions you're experiencing, as well as recognizing how those emotions are influencing your thoughts and behaviors. In relationships, this awareness is crucial because it helps us avoid knee-jerk reactions that can damage trust or escalate conflict. For instance, imagine having an argument with a partner. If you're not aware of your emotions, you might lash out in anger without realizing that you're feeling hurt or insecure underneath the surface. However, if you are emotionally aware, you can pause, identify the underlying emotion, for example, hurt, fear, frustration, and choose to express it more calmly and constructively. The key is to pause and take a moment to check in with yourself before reacting. Ask yourself, what am I truly feeling right now, and why? By practicing this level of self-awareness, you can respond to situations more thoughtfully and prevent emotional reactions from causing unnecessary strain on your relationships. Emotional regulation, managing emotions in high-stress moments. Once you are aware of your emotions, the next step is to regulate them. Emotional regulation involves managing and controlling your emotional responses, particularly in high stress or heated moments. In relationships, emotional regulation is essential for maintaining calm and perspective during disagreements or conflicts. When emotions run high, it's easy to say things we don't mean, raise our voices, or shut down altogether. However, emotional regulation allows us to keep our cool even in difficult conversations. It helps us stay grounded and make choices that support the health of the relationship rather than undermining it. One strategy for emotional regulation is deep breathing. When you feel your emotions escalating, take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Focus on your breath and remind yourself that you have the power to choose your response. Another strategy is cognitive reframing, the practice of changing your perspective on a situation. Instead of focusing on how wrong the other person is, reframe the situation by asking yourself, what is the deeper need behind this conflict? By shifting your focus to understanding the other person's perspective, you reduce the emotional charge and open the door to more empathetic communication. Empathy, deepening your connections. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It is one of the most powerful tools in building emotional intelligence within relationships. When we are empathetic, we don't just acknowledge what someone is going through, we feel it with them. Empathy allows us to connect on a deeper level, fostering trust, compassion, and mutual respect. In romantic relationships, empathy enables partners to feel heard and validated. In friendships, it strengthens bonds and deepens mutual understanding. In professional relationships, it fosters collaboration and trust. To practice empathy, focus on listening without judgment. Let the other person share their thoughts and feelings, and try to see the world from their perspective. Acknowledge their emotions by saying things like, I can see how that would upset you, or that must be really tough. These small gestures of empathy can significantly improve the quality of your relationships. Effective communication. A cornerstone of emotional mastery. Effective communication is vital for navigating relationships. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it and how you listen. Clear, compassionate communication fosters understanding, reduces conflict, and strengthens emotional bonds. When communicating in relationships, consider the following strategies. Use I statements. Instead of blaming or accusing, focus on expressing your own feelings and needs. For example, say, I feel upset when plans are changed at the last minute, instead of, you always cancel plans without warning. Listen actively. Active listening involves fully engaging with the speaker, showing interest through body language and reflecting back what you've heard. This shows the other person that you value their perspective and are committed to understanding their emotions. Stay calm in conflict. When emotions are running high, it's easy to escalate a disagreement. Practice staying calm by speaking slowly, maintaining a neutral tone, and allowing the other person to express themselves fully before responding. Seek solutions, not blame. In relationships, conflicts are inevitable. Chapter 10. Achieving lasting change through emotional mastery. Emotional mastery is not a one-time achievement. It is a continuous evolving process. The ability to master your emotions and transform your emotional landscape is something that takes time, patience, and consistent practice. But once you develop the tools and skills to manage your emotions effectively, you'll begin to see profound, lasting changes in your life. From healthier relationships to greater personal fulfillment, emotional mastery can help you unlock your full potential and create a life that is more aligned with your true desires and values. In this chapter, we will explore how emotional mastery leads to lasting change. We will discuss the mindset required for long-term transformation, the role of consistent practice, and how to apply emotional mastery to achieve your personal and professional goals. By the end of this chapter, you will have the insights and strategies to maintain emotional growth and create lasting change in every area of your life. The mindset of lasting change. To achieve lasting change through emotional mastery, it's important to adopt the right mindset. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it's natural to encounter challenges along the way. The key to long-term success is cultivating a growth mindset, a belief that you can improve and develop with effort, practice, and persistence. A growth mindset means embracing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than seeing them as setbacks. It involves being patient with yourself and understanding that mastering your emotions is a journey, not a destination. When you adopt this mindset, you shift from viewing emotional challenges as obstacles to viewing them as stepping stones on the path to greater emotional strength. In addition to a growth mindset, it's also essential to embrace self-compassion. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns of behavior or when emotions feel overwhelming. Instead of beating yourself up or feeling discouraged, practice self-compassion. Understand that change is a process and that you are doing the best you can. The more you cultivate kindness toward yourself, the more resilient you will be in the face of challenges. The role of consistent practice. Achieving lasting change through emotional mastery requires consistent practice. The more you practice emotional awareness, emotional regulation, and positive thinking, the more these skills will become second nature. Emotional mastery is like building a muscle. It gets stronger with regular exercise. In the beginning, it may feel difficult or even unnatural to pause before reacting, reframe negative thoughts, or regulate your emotions in tense situations. But the more you consciously practice these techniques, the easier they will become. Over time, you will notice that you are better able to respond to challenges with calm, clarity, and confidence. One powerful way to integrate emotional mastery into your daily life is through daily emotional check-ins. Each day, take a moment to reflect on how you're feeling and what emotions are present in your body. By consistently tuning into your emotional state, you develop a deeper understanding of your emotional patterns and become more adept at managing them. This simple practice can help you stay grounded and aware of your emotional triggers, making it easier to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Creating lasting change in relationships. One of the most profound effects of emotional mastery is its impact on relationships. When you are able to manage your emotions, communicate effectively, and understand the emotions of others, you create healthier, more supportive relationships. However, lasting change in relationships requires more than just self-awareness. It requires consistent effort and a willingness to grow together. For example, in a romantic relationship, emotional mastery can help you navigate conflicts with greater empathy and understanding. Instead of letting arguments spiral out of control, you can use the tools of emotional regulation to stay calm, listen actively, and work together to find solutions. In friendships and family relationships, emotional mastery enables you to create deeper bonds and foster mutual respect. By managing your own emotions, you become more attuned to the needs and feelings of others, which strengthens your connections and builds trust. Emotional mastery and personal growth. Beyond relationships, emotional mastery plays a critical role in your personal growth and development. When you take control of your emotions, you can overcome limiting beliefs, break through self-doubt, and unlock your true potential. Emotional mastery helps you stay focused on your goals, even when obstacles arise, and empowers you to take consistent action toward creating the life you desire. For example, if you're working toward a career goal, emotional mastery enables you to stay motivated and focused, even when faced with setbacks or challenges. Instead of being derailed by self-criticism or fear of failure, you can embrace mistakes as learning experiences and keep moving forward. Emotional resilience allows you to maintain your inner strength and confidence, which is crucial for success in any area of life. Maintaining lasting change through reflection. As you continue your journey toward emotional mastery, it's important to regularly reflect on your progress. Self-reflection allows you to assess where you've grown, where you still face challenges, and how you can continue improving. Reflection also helps you identify new areas for growth and gives you the opportunity to celebrate your victories, no matter how small. To maintain lasting change, set aside time for regular reflection. This can be through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation. Ask yourself questions like, how have I managed my emotions today? What triggers did I encounter, and how did I respond? What areas do I still need to work on? Through this process of self-reflection, you can continue to build upon your emotional mastery and stay aligned with your goals for personal growth. Conclusion: your path to lasting emotional mastery. Achieving lasting change through emotional mastery is not a destination, it's a lifelong journey of growth and self-discovery. By cultivating a growth mindset, practicing emotional awareness and regulation, and remaining consistent in your efforts, you can transform your emotional landscape and create a life that is more fulfilling, peaceful, and empowered. Remember, emotional mastery is a skill that takes time to develop, but with patience, persistence, and self-compassion, it is entirely within your reach. By mastering your emotions, you unlock the power to shape your life in a way that reflects your truest self. And as you continue on this path, you'll discover that the changes you seek are not just possible, they are inevitable. Chapter 11. The transformative power of emotional freedom. Emotional freedom is the ultimate goal of emotional mastery, the ability to experience and express your emotions fully without being controlled by them. It's the freedom to respond to life's challenges with clarity, grace, and resilience, rather than being trapped in negative emotional patterns. Emotional freedom allows you to live authentically, make empowered choices, and create the life you desire. It is the key to breaking free from past emotional baggage, embracing the present moment, and stepping into your full potential. In this chapter, we will explore what emotional freedom really means, why it is so transformative, and how you can achieve it through emotional mastery. By the end of this chapter, you will have a clearer understanding of how to let go of the emotional blocks holding you back, and how to cultivate a life of emotional liberation. What is emotional freedom? Emotional freedom is the ability to experience emotions without being controlled by them. It means you can feel sadness, anger, joy, or fear without letting those emotions dictate your actions or behavior. It's not about suppressing or ignoring your feelings. Rather, it's about allowing your emotions to flow without becoming overwhelmed by them. Emotional freedom gives you the ability to express your emotions in healthy, constructive ways, rather than being enslaved by past wounds, limiting beliefs, or negative thought patterns. For example, imagine a situation where you're faced with criticism at work. Someone points out an area where you could improve. Without emotional freedom, you might immediately feel defensive, angry, or inadequate, leading you to shut down, argue, or even avoid the situation. However, with emotional freedom, you can allow yourself to feel any initial discomfort without letting it overwhelm you. You can acknowledge the emotion, process it, and then choose a more thoughtful, balanced response. The key to emotional freedom is not avoiding or suppressing emotions, but developing the ability to recognize and release them in a way that doesn't negatively affect your life or relationships. It's about living in harmony with your emotions, not allowing them to take control of you. Why emotional freedom is transformative. Achieving emotional freedom is a transformative experience because it liberates you from the chains of emotional reactivity. When you are emotionally free, you are no longer at the mercy of your emotional responses. You can move through life with a sense of calm and clarity, knowing that you have the tools to manage whatever emotions arise. Freedom from the past. Emotional freedom allows you to let go of old emotional wounds and past traumas that may have been holding you back. When you are free from the grip of unresolved emotions, you can release the patterns of fear, shame, and guilt that have shaped your behavior. You no longer need to carry the emotional baggage of past hurts, and you are free to create a new future for yourself. Empowered decision-making. When you have emotional freedom, you can make decisions from a place of clarity rather than being driven by fear, anger, or past experiences. You are no longer controlled by impulse or emotional triggers. Instead, you can approach life's challenges with calm and rational thinking, making choices that align with your long-term goals and values. Increased resilience. Emotional freedom enhances your resilience because you are no longer easily knocked off balance by negative emotions. When difficulties arise, you can face them with a sense of inner strength and confidence. Instead of being overwhelmed, you are able to process emotions as they come and move forward with a positive mindset. Better relationships. Emotional freedom leads to healthier relationships because you are able to communicate and connect with others without being clouded by negative emotional responses. You can express your feelings authentically while maintaining emotional balance and respect for others' emotions. This creates deeper, more meaningful connections and allows you to navigate conflicts with empathy and understanding. Authentic self-expression. When you are emotionally free, you are able to express your true self without fear of judgment or rejection. You no longer need to hide behind masks or suppress your feelings to fit in. You can show up in the world as your authentic self, unafraid to express your emotions, thoughts, and desires. This leads to greater self-acceptance and a stronger sense of personal power. How to achieve emotional freedom. Achieving emotional freedom requires practice, self-awareness, and a willingness to release old patterns. Here are some key steps you can take to cultivate emotional freedom in your life. 1. Recognize and acknowledge your emotions. The first step in achieving emotional freedom is recognizing your emotions and allowing yourself to feel them fully. Many people avoid or suppress their emotions because they are uncomfortable or overwhelming. However, emotional freedom begins with acceptance. Acknowledge what you're feeling without judgment. When an emotion arises, take a moment to check in with yourself. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? Don't push the emotion away or try to escape it. Instead, give yourself permission to experience it without shame or fear. 2. Release emotional attachments. Emotional freedom also involves releasing emotional attachments to past events, people, or situations that continue to affect you. These attachments may take the form of unresolved anger, guilt, or regret. Holding on to these emotions only prevents you from moving forward. To release emotional attachments, practice letting go. One technique is writing a letter to the person or situation that you feel emotionally attached to, expressing all your feelings, and then letting go of that letter either by tearing it up or burning it. This symbolic act helps you release the emotional energy attached to the past and create space for healing. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating emotional freedom. By practicing mindfulness, you become more aware of your emotions as they arise, allowing you to process them in the present moment without becoming overwhelmed. Mindfulness helps you break free from the cycle of reacting to emotions, instead creating space for thoughtful responses.